The Adventure of the Beryl Coronet. This remarkable case begins with the frantic arrival of one of London's most prominent bankers, who has been entrusted with a priceless royal jewel. When the coronet is damaged and its gems stolen, the evidence points overwhelmingly to his own son, forcing Holmes to unravel a complex web of family secrets, misplaced trust, and hidden love to avert a national scandal. Holmes hears a madman coming along. It seems rather sad that his relatives should allow him to come out alone. My friend rose lazily and stood looking over my shoulder. It was a bright, crisp February morning. The snow of the day before still lay deep upon the ground. The man was about 50, tall, portly, and imposing, dressed in a somber yet rich style. Yet his actions were in absurd contrast, for he was running hard, with occasional little springs. As he ran, he jerked his hands up and down, waggled his head, and writhed his face into the most extraordinary contortions. What on earth can be the matter with him? He is looking up at the numbers of the houses.
I believe that he is coming here. I rather think he is coming to consult me professionally. I recognize the symptoms. Ha! Did I not tell you?
A frantic, clanging bell pull echoes through the house.
A few moments later, he was in our room, still puffing, but with so fixed a look of grief and despair in his eyes that our smiles turned to horror. He swayed his body and plucked at his hair. Then, springing to his feet, he beat his head against the wall. We both rushed upon him and tore him away.
You have come to me to tell your story, have you not? You are fatigued. Pray wait until you have recovered yourself.
No doubt you think me mad?
I see that you have had some great trouble.
God knows I have. A trouble, which is enough to unseat my reason. So sudden and so terrible is it. A public disgrace I might have faced. Private affliction is the lot of every man. But the two coming together have been enough to shake my very soul. Besides, it is not I alone. The very noblest in the land may suffer unless some way be found out of this horrible affair.
Pray compose yourself, sir, and let me have a clear account of who you are.
My name is probably familiar to your ears. I am Alexander Holder of the banking firm of Holder and Stevenson.
The name was indeed well known to us as belonging to the senior partner in the second largest private banking concern in the city of London. We waited, all curiosity, until he braced himself to tell his story.
I feel that time is of value. It is, of course, well known to you that in a successful banking business, much depends upon our being able to find remunerative investments for our funds. One of our most lucrative means is in the shape of loans. I started when I saw the name, for it was one of the highest, noblest, most exalted names in England. I was overwhelmed.
Mr. Holder, I have been informed that you are in the habit of advancing money. It is absolutely essential to me that I should have 50 at once. I much prefer to make it a matter of business. In my position, it is unwise to place oneself under obligations.
I should be happy to advance it without further parley from my own private purse, were it not that the strain would be too much. If I am to do it in the name of the firm, I must insist that every business-like precaution should be taken.
I should much prefer to have it so. You have doubtless heard of the Beryl Coronet?
One of the most precious public possessions of the empire.
Precisely.
He opened the case, and there, embedded in soft, flesh-colored velvet, lay the magnificent piece of jewelry.
There are 39 enormous barrels. The lowest estimate would put its worth at double the sum I have asked. I am prepared to leave it with you as my security.
When evening came, I felt it would be an imprudence to leave so precious a thing in the office. I determined that for the next few days, I would carry the case backward and forward with me. I did not breathe freely until I had locked it in the bureau of my dressing room at my house in Streatham. And now a word as to my household. I am a widower and have an only son, Arthur. He has been a grievous disappointment. He became a member of an aristocratic club, learned to play heavily at cards, and has again and again come to me to settle his debts of honor. He is much under the influence of his friend, Sir George Burnwell, a brilliant talker, but a man who should be deeply distrusted. So I think, and so too thinks my little Mary. She is my niece. I adopted her when my brother died. She is a sunbeam in my house. In only one matter has she gone against my wishes. Twice my boy has asked her to marry him, but each time she has refused. I think his marriage might have changed his whole life, but now, alas, it is too late. After dinner, I told Arthur and Mary of the precious treasure under our roof. Arthur asked where I had put it. He then followed me to my room. "Look here, Dad," he said. "Can you let me have 200? "No, I cannot," I answered sharply. "You have been very kind," he said, "but I must have this money or else I can never show my face inside the club again." I was very angry. "You shall not have a farthing from me," I cried, on which he bowed and left. About 2 in the morning I was awakened by some sound. To my horror, there was a distinct sound of footsteps in the next room. I slipped out of bed and peeped round my dressing-room door. "Arthur, you villain, you thief! How dare you touch that coronet?" My unhappy boy was standing beside the light, holding the coronet. He appeared to be wrenching at it. At my cry, he dropped it. I snatched it up. One of the gold corners with 3 of the barrels in it was missing. "You blackguard!" I shouted. "Where are the jewels you have stolen?" "Stolen!" he cried. "There are none missing." "There are 3 missing," I roared. "You have called me names enough," he said. "I shall not say another word. I will leave your house in the morning. You shall leave it in the hands of the police," I cried. Mary rushed in and, at the sight of the coronet, fell down senseless. I called in the inspector and gave Arthur into custody. This morning he was removed to a cell, and I hurried round to you. My God, what shall I do? I have lost my honor, my gems, and my son in one night.
Do you not think that he might have been trying to straighten it?
God bless you. You are doing what you can for him. But what was he doing there at all? If his purpose were innocent, why did he not say so?
Precisely. And if it were guilty, why did he not invent a lie? It is our task to find that out. So now, if you please, Mr. Holder, we will set off for Streatham together.
A short railway journey and a shorter walk brought us to Fairbank, the modest residence of the great financier. Holmes left us and walked slowly all round the house. So long was he that Mr. Holder and I went into the dining room. We were sitting in silence when the door opened and a young lady came in. She was slim, with dark hair and eyes, and her skin was an absolute deadly pallor.
"You have given orders that Arthur should be liberated. Have you not, Dad?"
No, no, my girl. The matter must be probed to the bottom.
"But I am so sure that he is innocent. I know that he has done no harm. It is so dreadful to think of our dear Arthur in prison."
At that moment, Holmes returned.
"I trust, sir, that you will succeed in proving that my cousin Arthur is innocent."
I fully share your opinion, Miss Holder. Might I ask you a question or two? You have a maid who has a sweetheart.
"Yes, Lucy Parr. She may have heard Uncle's remarks about the coronet."
About this girl, Miss Holder, you saw her return by the kitchen door?
"Yes, I saw the man, too. He is the greengrocer, Francis Prosper."
And he is a man with a wooden leg.
"Why, you are like a magician. How do you know that?"
Holmes went to the bureau and took out the diadem. At one side was a cracked edge, where a corner holding 3 gems had been torn away.
Now, Mr. Holder, might I beg that you will break off the corresponding corner?
I should not dream of trying.
Then I will.
Holmes suddenly bent his strength upon it, but without result.
Though I am exceptionally strong, it would take me all my time to break it. If I did, there would be a noise like a pistol shot. Do you tell me that all this happened within a few yards of your bed and you heard nothing?
It was not yet 3 when we found ourselves in our rooms once more. Holmes hurried to his chamber and was down again in a few minutes, dressed as a common loafer.
I only wish that you could come with me, Watson, but I fear that it won't do. I hope that I may be back in a few hours.
The next morning, the banker arrived, looking even more pained than before.
I do not know what I have done to be so severely tried. My niece, Mary, has deserted me. Her bed this morning had not been slept in. A note for me lay upon the hall table.
No, nothing of the kind. It is perhaps the best possible solution. I trust, Mr. Holder, that you are nearing the end of your troubles.
Ha! You say so. Where are the gems?
Have you your checkbook? Better make it out for 4,000.
Holmes walked over to his desk, took out a little triangular piece of gold with 3 gems in it, and threw it down upon the table.
You have it. I am saved. I am saved. I am saved.
There is one other thing you owe, Mr. Holder. A very humble apology to that noble lad, your son.
Then it was not Arthur who took them? For heaven's sake, tell me, what is this extraordinary mystery?
There has been an understanding between Sir George Burnwell and your niece Mary. They have now fled together. Your niece, when you had gone to your room, slipped down and talked to her lover through the window. She told him of the coronet. His wicked lust for gold kindled at the news. Your boy, Arthur, heard a soft tread pass his door. He saw his cousin walking stealthily along the passage. He saw her open the window and hand out the coronet to someone in the gloom. The instant she was gone, he rushed down, sprang out into the snow, and ran down the lane. There was a struggle between him and Sir George Burnwell. Something snapped, and your son, finding he had the coronet, rushed back. He was endeavoring to straighten it when you appeared.
Is it possible? Oh, my God, what a blind fool I have been! How cruelly I have misjudged him!
When I arrived, I went round the house to observe traces in the snow. In the stable lane, a long and complex story was written. There was a double line of tracks of a booted man, and a second double line belonging to a man with naked feet, your son. I saw where boots had faced round, where the snow was cut up as though there had been a struggle, and a few drops of blood. I knew then that Arthur had pursued the thief and struggled with him. It is an old maxim of mine that when you have excluded the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. It could only be your niece. And her confederate? A lover. Among your limited circle was Sir George Burnwell, a man of evil reputation. It must have been he. I went in the shape of a loafer to his house, learned he had cut his head, and bought a pair of his cast-off shoes. They exactly fitted the tracks. I went and saw him. He tried to bluster, but I clapped a pistol to his head. He became more reasonable. I told him we would give him a price for the stones. Why, dash it all, he said. I've let them go at 600 for the 3. I got the address of the receiver, and after much chaffering, got our stones at 1,000 apiece. Then I looked in upon your son, told him all was right, and got to my bed after a really hard day's work.
A day which has saved England from a great public scandal. Sir, I cannot find words to thank you, and now I must fly to my dear boy to apologize. As to poor Mary, not even your skill can inform me where she is now.
I think that we may safely say that she is wherever Sir George Burnwell is. It is equally certain, too, that whatever her sins are, they will soon receive a more than sufficient punishment.